Why no sound? No sound because unfortunately, Zoma, I just mentioned basically, uh, Sony Entertainment America owns three of the tracks on Symphony of the Night, and with every single Symphony of the Night run that I've uploaded to YouTube, apparently they've okay, I guess I should start from the beginning. So let me switch over to a full cam. Okay, so basically, if you haven't heard, this has been going on for months now, but YouTube has a new policy where they've created a new algorithm for checking videos that are being uploaded. They kind of needed to because of the sheer influx of video content that they were coming up with, especially in the gaming section. They've had to create a new algorithm which checks to see if a video has copyrighted material on it. The most prominent thing in that being music. Usually, when you upload something for copyright, or if you upload something to YouTube, before nobody really gave a shit, kind of. Now they're starting to crack down on it more. So how does that affect my stream, you may say? Like, what does it matter? Well, the thing is, Sony Entertainment America, SEA, owns the rights to three of the songs in Soten. The Marble Gallery one in the normal keep, there's like a small music clip that happens at the end of the game when the full motion video happens where it's the castle being destroyed. There's a small music file that happens. They own the rights to that. And I guess they own the rights to like the I Am the Wind track. Because of that, all of my videos that I've put up there pretty much, with the exception of a few, have been flagged for copyright claims. I'm going to talk to some other people involved in the speedrunning community and see how they get around it, or if they're running into the same thing, what types of things we may argue. I've kind of read through the Fair Clause law. I have a basic understanding of it. I've read some of the precedences that have been put on the Stanford website for law. But until I can figure out what I would put down, because you can basically dispute if somebody puts a copyright claim, because not every, it's an algorithm. It's YouTube's computer basically saying, like, this is a copyrighted material. We're going to flag it just base. You can dispute it, and if they do not make a claim on it within 30 days, then it just basically drops. The problem is that if they do make a claim on it at that point, then you get a copyright strike. You get 3 copyright strikes, and your channel gets shut down. Now, that may not seem like a big deal because, obviously I just barely made my YouTube. There's a lot of videos on there that I don't want destroyed, most importantly of which are the Soten tutorials that I've just made. I put a lot of fucking time into those. I'm probably going to save them locally onto my computer, just so they don't get deleted and become unavailable to people. But I'm basically going to have to talk to the rest of the community to find out what type of thing that I would put down in my dispute. Basically, under fair use clause, there's 4 things that kind of determine if it's fair use or not. Some of my videos that I have on YouTube, I feel that I probably will have to take down, because even though they're just in the background and they're de-emphasized in the videos, like they're not the main focus of the video, they are audible, like it's a full track. I might have to get rid of those videos just because that's the way it is. That's really unfortunate. Hopefully I can get a hold of some of these companies, which I need to get in touch with people again, like figure out how to do that. What's the best avenue to communicate with their community manager or managers or whatever. To cut a long story short, or, you didn't want to listen to all that shit. Basically what it comes down to is there's some music that's being used. It's getting flagged for copyright claims on YouTube. And until I can figure out an appropriate avenue through which to claim fair use on it, I don't know if I can really run these with game sound on them. And that's really shitty because I feel like it's a nice thing to have in the run if people just want to have something to listen to. I'd like to think it's good advertising also for the agencies involved. Like maybe it would entice people to buy the game or entice people to buy the soundtrack, but until I can figure out exactly what I want to do with that, this is how it's got to be, I think. Especially if I'm doing serious attempts on something that I might get a PB on. But that's kind of where I'm at with this. I'll probably highlight this. I hold no ill will towards this. Obviously, I'm not trying to steal anybody's copyrighted works. The focus of this is not on the music. The focus on this is just basically to show people how to do speed runs. Show my progress in speed runs and kind of share it with people. Try to entice people to get into our community, to purchase the game, to really get excited about Soten in general. And maybe get into some of the nonprofits. Like we have marathons that happen all the time through SDA and stuff. You know, I would love to be a part of that, to find some way to have a game that I could contribute to it. I don't know if it's going to be Soten just because of the monsters that are in it, but I'd love to be a part of that, to help out where I can in the community, both in the speedrunning community and in the world community. You know. But until that time where I can figure out what I'm going to do, I might do game sound sometimes I may not. So consider this kind of a stream update as well, as to the things that I'm looking at. So hopefully that kind of explained a little bit. I love how my full screen also doesn't have the... So if you haven't noticed, I changed my resolution recently, and that's why my stream stuff's kind of screwed up, but I figured I'd go full screen for that, just to really show you guys that I'm serious about this, that it's not just something that's kind of a passing thought.